that pulls me forward. And I find myself being, well, taking part in different activities that I was not taking part in before when I had an aim that was valuable to me. And then I was like, but why? Like, that's not who you are. And when I look around, I'm looking at, but now you are widely accepted by your society because you're just aimlessly walking around, moving on. You would call that hedonistic drives. You would call that basically hedonistic drives. There's a thinker named Freud. He said human beings are moved by the will to pleasure. And Viktor Frankl said something akin to this. He said, he disagreed with Freud when he said, if you don't have a meaning in life, that's the only way you are moved by meaninglessness and basically hedonistic drives, pleasure principle. And I was reading that time I attended teachers college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Because I had to do something, I said, okay, well, I was coaching basketball at the time because that's what I was playing. I went to teachers college, and I felt a lot of the profound thinkers that was talking about those things. I felt like there was something in it that I could have, it beaconed onto me, like, wow, like, those guys are really speaking about a lot of the things that I go through. One of my favorite psychologists, educational psychologists, Jean Piaget, Eric Erikson, I used to read a lot on those individuals because I was looking for something to help heal me because there was a point of meaninglessness in my own life. And when I look at that, I was like, wow, I spent at least 3 years writing the first book. 3 years putting ideas together, putting the fill up, trying to wrestle with a mode of being that I would find what is objective, not only to me, but what is objective to humanity, to human beings. What works cross-culturally, not just what works for my belief. And that's what the level of subjectivity is. It works for Phil, but it doesn't work for me. It works for, but it doesn't work for me. I know there is a part of the human condition that happens on that level of interpretation. But what I'm wrestling with is what is objective across all levels of analysis, across, if it happens in St. Lucia, it can happen in the person if they follow those principles, and what I'm looking for is principles. If it happens in St. Lucia, then if it happens in Trinidad, it doesn't have to be based on your culture and all those things. So I have appreciation for culture, I have appreciation for tradition, but what I'm looking for, basically my own, what I'm trying to wrestle with, you would say, is what's objective for all of us. And the example I would use to explain that properly, something like gravity. Like I'm looking for principles like gravity. Like wherever you go, it doesn't matter what you believe in. You can believe in whatever traditional aims or whatever cultural belief that you have. That's fine. But gravity works on you nevertheless. And I believe there's a mode of, and I can understand there's a mode of I'm trying to wrestle with a mode of being, and that will, where I can find that in itself. And one of the things that I found with reading was that all the books that I've read, they always articulate the fact having an aim in life is what will pull the human being forward. And there's this book I read, Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the principles in there, he was saying to begin with an end in mind. That's what purpose is. That's what having an aim is. So if you aim valuably, you'll be able to formulate your sacrifices. You'll be able to know, oh, okay, that's what I want. So if you know what you want, you would know what you shouldn't do. So you specify yourself, you flush yourself out philosophically, mentally, emotionally, to get to that aim. And I think that's what drives human innovation and human development.
So, guest today.